Hey, all you block and limestone locations. Here is your process for stormwater sampling. First and foremost, you're going to want to make sure that you have your pH meter calibrated. You will need distilled water to calibrate your pH meter, and you're also going to need distilled water to make sure that the sensor is clean before you do your actual pH test. Okay. Within the container that this came in, there are directions on how to calibrate and also how to take your sample. It's very easy. And then once you take your sample, once you get your sample, say this is my sample and imagine that there's actual water in it. You're going to dip this down in and you're going to spin it around for 30 seconds, and then a reading is going to come up on here, and that is the reading that I need you to write down on the form that you're going to fill out for me. Pretty simple. I don't really think that you're going to screw it up. Okay, so the next one is, this is your instruction sheet. This is on the website with the same place that you're watching this video for you to print out. So if you have questions aside from this video, this is going to help you out with that. It talks about the pH calibration, the testing, and what you're going to need for each of the types of things that you're going to do, okay? Aside from the 2 kits that you got in the mail, you're going to need some kind of clear container to collect your grab sample. But for your composite, I think it should be taken care of. So let's go through the grab sample first, okay? So you should have gotten a cooler like this, and then an additional box of just a whole bunch of plastic bottles, okay? To take your composite, or I'm sorry, to take your grab. To take your grab, there are going to be a number of different containers. So inside the cooler, there are 2 separate sections. There's a big bag that has for grab, and there's a smaller bag that has everything in it you need for the composite. So we're going through the big section right now. So in the big one, you're going to go out to your monitoring site that you found within your outfall, okay? And you're going to take something clear, so that you can kind of see what you're getting, to see if you're getting a bunch of sediment or funky stuff. And you're going to fill this with free-flowing water, nothing off of the bottom. You don't want to pick up any of that extra sediment, okay? You want to get this sample when it's leaving your property. Make sure it's not mixing with anybody else's stuff that's maybe rolling down the street, because that's not going to be representative of what we have coming off our property, okay? So you're going to start filling this up, and then you are going to start filling each and every one of these. There are 2 of these amber colored bottles. These have phosphoric acid inside them, so please do not spill them and get them on your skin. If you want to, you can wear gloves in case that happens, but if you do spill the phosphoric acid out of here, we have to call and get a new kit, because it's got to be in there. They're using this, I believe, to test for like oils that are coming through the water. Once you test these, or once you fill these, make sure that you get them put back in this bubble wrap so that they don't get broken in transport. So there are 2 of these you're going to fill, okay? And then there are 2 of these that you're going to fill. This one doesn't have anything in it. This one also has phosphoric acid in it. On it, there's labelings. You're going to fill the label out. You can refer to your instruction sheet. It will tell you how to do that. Once you get those all filled, you're done with your grab. And your grab has to be done within the first 30 minutes of a rainfall. Has to be 72 hours from a previous rainfall event of an inch, or of a 1/10 of an inch or more. And the rainfall that you're sampling during that day, it has to be a rain that's going to be at least a 1/10 of an inch or more. So you're going to just have to watch the weather to determine that. I also put a link on the website that you can go to see when the last time it rained, and what the amount was with the last time it rained. So hopefully that will help you guys in determining if you've met your 72 hours or not. All right, once you have those all full, you're going to take them and put them right back inside your cooler, inside that same bag that you pulled them out of. Inside, just floating freely in your cooler, there's going to be a temperature blank. This is for the lab. Do not open it. Don't mess with it. Just leave it in the box. Okay, so to do your composite, you're gonna pull out this bag from your cooler, okay? And then you're also going to go to the separate box that you got. And in this separate box, there is a composite bottle. And there are 12 of these smaller bottles. You are only going to need 3. I don't know why they send 12, but you only need 3. So you're gonna take your 3 out. Okay. You're gonna go out to your sampling site. You have got to separate all 3 of these samples out by 15 minutes. So again, within the first 30 minutes of the rainfall, okay, and then 15 minutes apart on each one of these. So it's got to be raining, you know, a pretty good amount to get these. Now, the water is going to flow through your through off property for a long time, even after it stops raining if it's a heavy rain. So don't be worried about not being able to get enough. You should be able to, but I would encourage you to like check it out maybe someday and how it flows before you actually do your test, so that you do know that, hey, I'm going to be able to get enough water, so you don't start and then you don't get enough, okay? So again, you're going to take your clear container out to where you're sampling, and you're going to fill this, and you're going to fill each one of these bottles 15 minutes apart, okay? When you get done filling each one, you're going to come back, and you're going to then take this and dump it into this container, okay? Once you get all 3 of them dumped into this container, shake it up, okay, because we want to make sure that all 3 of those samples get mixed together. And then you're going to use this, which should be enough water. You're going to use this then to fill these 2 containers. One of them has the phosphoric acid in it again, so please make sure that you don't spill that on yourself, okay? Once you get these filled, this is all that's going to go back into your cooler to go to the lab. So you'll throw that back in here. And then all these containers, they can just be disposed of once we're done with them. If you want to keep the ones that you don't use for something else, that's fine. We paid for them, so. But you don't. There's no need to send any of this stuff back. Okay, then when you are done, you are going to take the extra bags that are in the container, and you're going to fill them with ice and get them on your samples right away so that your samples stay cold. They have to be within a certain temperature by the time they get back to the lab. So make sure that you get those filled in right away. If you have if you have questions on the time-weighted composite that you're doing, they also included that as well. It's kind of confusing, which is why I tried to make this video for you so that you could understand a little bit easier on what you're supposed to be doing. And then inside this one is going to have your custody seal that you're going to need to seal up your cooler after you have your samples and your ice and everything's inside and ready to go. And then inside there's also going to be this relinquished sheet, okay? This relinquished sheet, you don't need to worry about any of this stuff up here. They've already taken care of that. When I ordered it, they filled it out because that's how they knew what to send us. So all you're going to do is go down to the bottom part here and fill out where it says the relinquished part of it. That's going to be your name, whoever took the samples, the date, and it's basically saying, yes, I took the samples, everything is in there, I'm truthful about it, and then send it back to the lab. So then put this sheet back inside this, seal it up so in case that ice leaks, it doesn't get all wet. Pull out your custody seal, and then you're going to take your custody seal and you're going to seal from top to bottom so that the cooler cannot be opened. And then you can either call me if you're local in Cedar Rapids and we can see if there's a courier available to come pick it up, or UPS, FedEx, whatever your method is for overnight, okay, back to the testing facility, or the lab, sorry, back to the lab. There on the instructions, there is the address that you can send that back to, as well as you got it shipped to, so it probably has our address right on it. It's Eurofins Test America. And then I need to make sure that you fill this sheet out on your times and all the information that I need. And this also tells you how to fill out the labels on the bottles, okay? And you need to make sure that you scan this back to me. I don't need the hard copy. You might want to keep it for your records in case you ever get audited, but I will keep it in my files as well. If you have further questions, concerns, need some help with anything, please reach out and let me know. Thanks.